All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the End Bad Governance protest day 8 witnessed a lot of violence, leading to curfews being imposed early in several states across Nigeria. But the government remains tensed because they know that they and the hungry, poor and indigent people of this country have started a fight that will not end anytime soon. The second reason the federal government is tensed is because the people have now realized that they can easily visit these politicians in their homes and take them unaware. So, after declaring curfews and sending the people off the streets, what about your houses? The third reason this administration is tensed is the fact that protesters have not stopped waving Russian flags and calling for Russian intervention or a military takeover in Nigeria. And when you study all the nations that experienced military interventions, you will realize that the path that led to such interventions is the same path that we have found ourselves as a nation. And all of a sudden, almost all the state governors in Nigeria right now are not in support of Tinubu, even after he increased state government allocations. No wonder Peter Obi said, "You have not won an election until you win the people." He simply does not have the people. And out of fear, Presidency has issued a statement concerning the use of Russian flags by protesters, but protesters mocked and blasted the government in response to that statement. Before I show you that back and forth between government and protesters, let me quickly show you these pair of videos. The first video is that of Dele Momodu blasting Tinubu, and the second video is a video of northern protesters tearing down the APC building in their local government. Let's take the first video.
Well, both of them are very unfortunate. And to answer you frontally, to ask a question, is there bad governance in Nigeria? I don't think that is in doubt. Every Nigerian agrees on that, and I say it, including the aides of President, Mr. President, who cannot say it in his presence, but they grumble behind him. I say it everywhere. He's my friend, he's my big brother, and if anybody will deceive him, I will remain the only one who will continue to tell him that you are surrounded by liars who are telling Nigeria has never been this bad. I'm not an economist. The other day, someone said, because I studied Yoruba, I can't speak about it. The economy is different from economics. The economy is personal, is internal, and it can be external. Economics is textbook. Every time we hear IMF said, according to certain indices, Nigeria today, I don't know, you are a big man, Ruby. Maybe you are not feeling it.
I'm a struggling journalist.
So if you are a struggling journalist, now imagine the ordinary man on the street. And seriously speaking.
You heard that. That was Chief Dele Momodu there, tearing Tinubu and his cabinet apart. We have seen Seyi Makinde in Oyo State heavily against the Tinubu regime. The Osun State Governor is also against this administration. Adamawa State Governor came out 2 days ago to slam the Tinubu administration, calling it tone deaf to the cries of the people. Bauchi State Governor slammed this administration just yesterday. And Edo State Governor did the same, not to mention the Northwest governors who blasted Tinubu after he ignored their invite for a security meeting. Then the Katsina governor who went ahead to say bandits and kidnappers are being sponsored by the powers in Abuja. Everything is falling apart for this administration, and that takes me to my next video, where angry protesters in Katsina State took down the APC secretariat in their local government. See the video. You can see that a massive crowd of young people taking down the APC secretariat in Daura. Every single APC member in that local government had to flee. You know how the northerners are. They can easily move from bringing down the building to bringing down the members of the party. On the first day of the protest, these same guys attacked ex-president Buhari in his home, but he fled. And this is happening in Daura. What a shame. A local government that produced a president who was in office for 8 years. Frustrated everyone, frustrated your people, and they had to resort to taking down the secretariat of your party. And this kind of rejection of the APC is happening in almost all the local governments in northern Nigeria. Yesterday, I showed you the one in Zaria. It is the end of the road for the APC. What a disastrous end. Now, let us look at the statement the government issued concerning the Russian flags used by protesters. And let's look at how Nigerians reacted to their statement. Look at how the papers reported it. Steer clear of our internal issues. Federal government warns foreign powers. The warning came against the backdrop of foreign flags being flown during the ongoing protest against hardship in the country, especially in some northern states, including Kano, Kaduna, and Zamfara, and the arrest of some foreigners as sponsors of the protest. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, who gave the warning while briefing members of the diplomatic corps in Abuja, however, highlighted the importance of cordial international relationships. Recall that the protest, which gained momentum in major cities such as Lagos, Benin, Osun, Oyo, Kano, Gombe, Yobe, Borno, Niger, Kebbi, Abuja, and other northern towns, was marked by violence, and that at least 6 Spaniards were arrested in Kano in connection with the protest. The minister appealed for continued collaboration from the international community to support Nigeria's efforts in overcoming its current challenges and achieving a better future for all Nigerians. He warned, while the government continues to work hard through the various reform programs and measures to address challenges facing Nigeria and Nigerians, it is pertinent to remind us that no nation tolerates foreign interference in its domestic affairs and that of its citizens. Nigeria is not an exception. What a joke. These APC guys will never cease to amaze me. Imagine Nigerian government warning international community, people who have not been able to defeat bandits that are right under their nose. Now, they are asking foreigners not to interfere in Nigeria's internal issues. Yet, if not for the intervention of some patriotic Nigerians, this administration almost went to war with Niger Republic because of what happened in Niger Republic. What level of hypocrisy is this? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here says, "But you involved yourself deep into Niger and co issues until they threatened you and forced you to back down. For the Westerners, you forget that they are supposed to steer clear when you were begging and twerking for loans. See who they make threats." I'm telling you, these are just empty threats. And Charles replied by saying, Baba was even willing to attack Niger itself. Yes, he wanted to go to war with Niger because military took over in their country. Now they are drumming for the same thing to happen in your country, and you are asking foreigners to steer clear. This hypocrisy stinks to the high heavens. And this tweet by Agbalaka says, "Puppet pretending to be calling the shots. Soon, foreign media houses will start releasing what they know about him just to get him in line." That is what they do. Anytime he tries to man up, they will start threatening to release his records, Tinubu, and he will just be quiet. And this tweet here says, "Stay clear of their hospitals abroad too. After all, no president from abroad patronizes your hospitals here. End bad governance in Nigeria. Hashtag Tinubu must go." And this tweet by Babatoyin says, "But with your cap in hand, you can beg or lobby for foreign grants and loans, which you, the political merchants, scavengers, spend lavishly, extravagantly, and squander without allowing the majority of Nigerians to benefit, not to even talk of being accountable. Hypocrisy." And this tweet here says, "And if they interfere, what can you do with your super pest control Tucano jet? They play. Alliances will be formed. Unrest brews. Be careful. This can still be averted." This guy is saying, instead of just making empty threats, you have to know that those flags were not waved in vain. You have to rise up and begin to talk to the people and see how you can start doing the right thing to save yourself. But I know that these guys can never tow that path. And this tweet here by Yinka Akintunde says, no foreign power of worth is so obsessed with Nigeria's internal affairs. The people are hungry and businesses are disenfranchised by government policies. The anger within goes beyond external meddling. Yinka, on the other hand, he's saying you don't have to be worried about external interferences. Nigerians are angry enough at your failure, and that is what you should be worried about. And this tweet by Adetiloye says, but if Prime Minister or President of any foreign country invites you, you quickly rush there. That is it. Even climate change meeting that a minister is supposed to attend, Tinubu will go there and go and attend. And now they are trying to act as if they don't care about those foreign countries and those guys should not interfere in our affairs. Meanwhile, we are the ones rushing to them for loans every now and then. Just 3 days ago, another $500 million loan was sought for from the World Bank. These are the people you are asking them not to interfere. What sense does this make? Absolutely no sense. But this is the APC, and I don't expect them to make sense. I know what they have come to do. It is to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And for Nigeria to get their country back on track, for Nigerians to begin to enjoy the dividends of democracy, the dividends of being Nigerians in an oil-producing country, the first thing we must do is to unite and get the APC out of power. And I can see from this protest that Nigerians are getting on the right track. And I hope and pray that this will continue because it is the path to redemption. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.